Hello, craft services listeners. Happy New Year. Co-host Trent here with a quick announcement. Perhaps not the co-host you would expect to hear from solo, but here we are. So something we definitely should have discussed in the body of the episode, but both forgot to, is that we have our first ever live event. You heard that right. A live podcast recording of our show, Craft Services. So if you're hearing this, you probably like this show. So hear me out. So on Friday, January 3rd, in the year 2025, at 7:30 p.m., at Art House Productions in Jersey City, New Jersey. Here's the address: 345 Marin Boulevard, Jersey City, NJ 07302. Art House Productions. Here's what's going down. Parth helped work on this movie with director and Rutgers alum Vincent D. Alessandro. He made his first feature film, Bottom Feeders. He graduated a few years ahead of us at Rutgers. He's a good friend of the show, and he was nice enough to invite us to this screening to do a Q&A afterwards with him and the two main actors. So that's going to be pretty great. I think it'll be about 30 minutes long. That's what's slotted. So it'll be the movie and then 30-minute live podcast recording with Parth and I, and then Vincent, the director, and then the two main actors. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It'll be interesting. It'll be a first for us. So just to repeat one more time, Friday, January 3rd, 7:30, Art House Productions, 345 Marin Boulevard, Jersey City, NJ 07302. Take the train, take a car. It's going to be cool. Come say hi to Parth and I. You know, we're just trying something new. We're really honored we were invited to do this, and it should be cool. And if you can't make it, that's totally cool, but you should still check out Bottom Feeders on your own time. And we're gonna release the episode, we're gonna record it so you can just listen to it on while you're doing the dishes, or during your commute, as you usually would. But if you're a mega fan, I'll give you Parth's home address, and another opportunity to get closer to Parth would be coming to this event. So come if you can. It'd be great to see some friends there. Okay, bye. Enjoy the episode. One more thing. The ticket link can be found in the description to this video. We'll also post it on our Instagram. It has all the information you'll need. Again, it has the trailer to the movie. Yeah, okay, just thought that was important.
We are tonight's entertainment.
You can't handle the truth.
The fire rises.
Pizza time.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So it begins. You know how much I sacrificed?
You think that's air you're breathing?
Groovy.
I don't have friends. I got family.
We are sex people! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Craft Services.
Hey, Trent.
Hi, Parth. You're looking well.
Trent, you're sounding well. What's up with that?
I hope so. I don't mean to jinx anything prematurely. Knock on wood. But yeah, I think hopefully we have the same sound equipment now. And I think this is the dawn of a new day.
Let's hope so. Yeah, Trent bought the same podcasting recording equipment that I've had now for almost a year. And you got a lot of it for Christmas, as I understand, which is why we weren't able to use it a little bit earlier. But now, for our end of year big finishing finale, we've got Trent and I on the same audio setup.
It was weird having both parents on different sound quality, because then it's sort of caters to the lowest common denominator, because it's like you only sound as good as I sound bad.
I know, yeah.
Unfortunately. But yeah, my dad this morning hit me with hey Trent, I'm glad the pod's still going. And I said, with our new equipment, that is actually sort of industry standard, this is basically, for better or worse, the start of the podcast.
Yes.
So for anyone who's been following us for a while now, we appreciate you, but disregard everything that's happened.
Trent, what have you been eating most recently?
I have a piece of rye toast next to me, which was one of my favorite things, and I had it in the car with me this morning, and I'll just have it up on the dashboard, And the guy at the gas station said, "Watch your toast."
Oh,
And I was like, "Okay, guy, I've got it." But it's because I've been sick. Thanks to Isaac.
you sound better.
Thank you. Thanks to Isaac Hirsch for getting me sick. Sorry to Tate Algayer for getting you sick. It's a chain of pain, you know.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Well, Trent, I was researching for friend of the show, Adam Volerich's show, Eye of the Duck. They're in the middle of their Invasion series, where they're covering UFO invasion films. And so I was working all the way up until like 12:30, 1 o'clock, something like that, and realized, oh, I'm hungry and we're going to have to record, and I'm going to have to talk about what I've been eating. So I quickly heated up. We call them teplas, which they're kind of like parathas, but it is like made of spinach and like dough, and it's like healthy, you know? But
Well, spinach is healthy, and
yeah, you just
dough, but sure.
well, yeah, it's like it's pretty good for you, and very easy to make. You just put in the electric griddle on one side for a little bit, the other side for a little bit, and then eat that shit.
You ever had spanakopita? That's just like bread and spinach.
Yeah, I had spanakopita for the first time with Sophia Alexis's family, my very good friend of the show.
Who will soon enough become your really great friend.
Well, that's what everyone's saying. Everyone's sort of asking, you know.
Everyone's like, Parth, when are you going to upgrade your relationship from just friend to really good friend?
Yeah. Anyways, literally every Christmas party or any party I go to with like family involved, it's so when are the two of you, you know? Oh, sorry, maybe I shouldn't have said that. And it's like, you knew what you were doing. But yeah, who knows what next year brings.
Yeah, it's good. It'll be good for the pod. Maybe good for some of our interpersonal relationships.
Hopefully. I mean,
and maybe
realistically, it won't change much on your end. Like, hopefully.
Determined. To be determined. Unless
okay.
at the really good friends ceremony, I object to you guys becoming really good friends.
Oh God. Do you have a reason, or you just like are thinking that could be
No,
fun?
I object. And then I'm like, stop. We need to do a live wedding pod.
Oh God. Well,
Yeah.
I think then Sophia might object to becoming my really good friend. She might have to rethink it all.
I could be like at a desk with like Jackson, and we could be like in sport coats, and we can do commentary.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so he takes over my role in the pod? Cool. That's cool. Let's cue the intro. Welcome back to Craft Services, where we talk about the movies. Each week we talk about a film and hopefully have a crew member of that film to talk with us about their experience working on the picture. But this week, Trent.
We're not doing that.
Not at all.
This week, 2024 ends and 2025 begins.
Yes, this is our final episode of the year, and we've been doing this for 4 years, an end of year special. And previous years, this year you've got a new podcasting setup, and so we decided to sort of christen that new podcasting setup by setting some new things up in our end of year episode, right, Trent?
In end of year episodes past, I've said stupid stuff such as Mank is my favorite movie of the year, and last year that Bob Marley's One Love was one of my most anticipated films.
So who knows what stupid thing you'll say this year?
Yeah, so I'm just saying it's ripe territory disproportionately for me to say something stupid about the landscape of movie going.
Hey, I think 2021 we both had Spider-Man No Way Home as our number 2 of the year. So
Wow.
yeah.
That doesn't reflect upon us.
Pretty brutal times.
Very flatteringly.
Well, it's usually like one of us says something stupid.
That was admittedly, that was a lot of fun. Which, admittedly, it was, but I haven't seen or really thought about that film since.
I had a fun time. I think I saw that in theaters 3 separate times, but not really because I was like, I gotta go see it.
Spider-Man.
It was like
generations.
Very good. No, it was because I saw it once just to see it, obviously, and then it was like, well, now this person wants to go see it with you. Well, now your cousin that loves Spider-Man wants to go see it with you, and I was like, okay.
Well, because Spider-Man, at least for a time, sort of was your thing. So you
wait. I mean, Spider-Man for this time still is my thing.
So
But
you can't be too mad when other people in like critical, learning phases of their life are like, I need the Spider-Man role model
hey,
to
not-
be by my side while I go through this.
Trent, it does not upset me in the slightest. I have a cousin Arjun who's 7, 6, something like that. He's 6. He was born 2018. And I showed him Spider-Man 2 when he was like 1.5 or 2, something like that. Like we put it on, and the doctor scene where Doc Ock kills all the doctors came up, and I was like, ooh, maybe we'll have to close his eyes, maybe we'll have to skip this. And he was like, and then the doctors, when they're getting fucking murked, was like, like he started laughing like a madman. So it sort of makes you wonder, like, maybe violence in media is bad, but maybe we love it because it's awesome. But I guess I don't really know where I was going with that point, other than to say my other little cousin also loves Spider-Man.
You always talk about like stories of like 1 or 1.5-year-olds where you're like, and then I was hanging out with my 1.5-year-old and we were like talking about poetry and dance and marriage and love. And it's like, maybe I've just never been around children, but these babies in your family have like really come a long way.
Well, I don't know where poetry, dance, and religion have come in. I think the extent
You're like
of my
watching
experience.
films with them. I don't know.
Okay, but they're not like sitting down watching the whole thing. But this one does though. He's special. But Viraj, my brother, also friend of the show, he as a child simply could not sit through a movie, and I would try to show him movies all the time, and he just couldn't do it. So it's not everybody.
What would happen? He would cry and get mad?
No, he would just like not. He would just like go away. He'd walk around. He could not sit down and watch something. Whereas I, as a child, always could. So
it's kind of. I think you might be the exception because it might be asking a lot to.
I agree. I agree that I am the
attention span
exception
of
to the rule.
2-year-old. Also, it's funny. I feel like in 9 times out of 10, if you were like, hey, I want to show, even though it's Spider-Man 2, the scene you're bringing up is pretty
extremely violent. Like maybe
extreme.
the most
I feel like most
violent
parents would be
scene
like,
in a Spider-Man movie.
Let's wait on that. Let's wait on that.
Nah, dog. No, but hey, we got to show him because we love the movies. And speaking of loving the movies, this has been a year of film.
Movies have come out. We've seen some. We logged some on Letterboxd. I only wrote 7 reviews this year. I'm really just in my liking on Letterboxd era.
Hey, well, Trent, I was gonna say that I think next year I might start just doing likes or no like, partially because it's like I feel like I'll give like something that I liked 3.5, and then I'll see something that I liked maybe a little more, or maybe it's considered a better movie, and I also give it 3.5, and then somebody's like, "You're telling me that that's the same level of quality?" And it's like, no, dude, it's not. Like, this isn't real. None of this means anything. And so I kind of am just like, I'll just like, either I liked it or I didn't,
Whenever I'll rate something, someone will comment and be like, "You're fucking stupid," and then I'll put it down half a star, and then I'll feel a little shitty about myself.
And hey, I feel bad about commenting it, but you got to do what you got to do.
I saw someone give a 1-star review of a complete unknown, which I think is a bit unforgiving.
That's a bit harsh.
But there were people in the comments being like, like genuinely as a human, you are scum.
Garbage. Cool.
Or like it was starting to feel threatening, and it's like, it's just a movie, yo.
But speaking of the movies, as we brought up, the last 3 years we've done a top 5 of the year, and Trent and I alternate what we say. Then we do a top 5 of the year that weren't 2024 movies, and then we did top 5 that we were excited for the next year. But this year,
not so simple.
No.
But it's actually kind of more simple and better in every way. So I think we're sort of streamlining the operation here. And we called the last second audible from top 5 of the year to do a top 10. But wait, it's going to fly by.
Because
here,
Trent, here's a problem with our top 5 of the year previous years. A lot of the times we had the same movies. And so we were something that was my number 3 of the year was your number 5 of the year, or my number 1 was your number 2, or stuff like that.
And it would lead to unnecessary redundancy. So just to give credit to where this idea came from, the Ringer podcast, The Rewatchables, does a lot of drafts. They'll do like the 2002 movie draft. They've never done it for end of year or for this year, so I don't feel like I'm stepping on their toes. But of years past, they do like 3 different people and they draft 5 movies each. They do more distinct categories that we will not be doing.
No.
But Parth and I are going to, in a snake fashion, which means like I get 1 and then Parth gets 2 and then I get 2, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that until we reach 10 movies each.
No overlap, obviously.
Yes, we're gonna flip a coin, so we decide who goes first. That person will give 1. The next person gives 2, and we keep doing 2 till we reach 10.
Yeah, and then we've kind of thrown the movies that weren't from 2024 that we saw this year to the birds, because who cares?
Yeah, it's sort of like we can, if you care that much, you can just ask us.
Befriend
I'll tell you.
Parth in real life. His address is as follows.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna do our top 5 in a similar draft fashion. Our top 5 movies we're looking forward to in 2025. I just looked through the IMDb top 200 list, and I wrote down some movies that look pretty all right.
Great.
Parth is typing an email to the people
I'm
at his other podcast.
That's not true. I'm in a notes app right now putting Trent and Parth and then a numbered list so that we have...
Sraft Curvises. Is that her name, Parth?
Okay, so Trent, shall I flip a coin?
Oh, I have a real coin. Were you going to do
Oh, do you really? Oh, okay, that's even better than the digital coin.
I dug it out of my Batman piggy bank. Yeah, the digital coin...
piggy bank!
With the digital coin, you have to beg the question, is there really someone somewhere flipping a coin and then typing in the result? There better be. I don't think so, but Parth...
But wait, Trent, before you do that, let me... Heads.
Okay.
Before you do that, though, let me put my sweatshirt on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's on. Okay, so you said heads.
Wait, so and are we doing it gets into your hand and then goes like this, or
that's
just
what
into your
that's
hand?
No, into your hand and then you do the flip thing.
Cool,
That's
good.
That's
how men do it.
So if it's heads, you go first, or if it's heads, you.
If it's heads, I go first. Yeah, I do 1 and then you do 2.
Okay, I'm flipping. Don't you hate it when someone flips a coin? I have it under here, and then they drop it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Okay, it's heads.
Whoa, so I go first?
That's true. Okay, I'm pulling up my letterbox list. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
Right.
And so I guess just for the kids at home, in theory, you're sort of trying to draft our most desirable movies first, because the less desirable movies will still be there later in the draft.
It's true.
In theory.
Well, for my number 1, which is my number 1 of the year, we're going Dune Part 2.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen.
We had editor Joe Walker on. That was a really, really good interview. The start of the new pod, if you will. And just I was a fan of Dune Part 1. I don't know if it was my number 1 of the year or not, but yeah, the sequel is sort of better in every single possible way.
Why was that the start of the new pod? Just because it was an awesome episode?
No, because it was our.
Oh,
we
you're right.
yeah.
We tried to change. We were like, this is a big old guest, so we should try to put our big boy pants on and maybe rethink how we do these interviews.
Yes.
And I think that has been a positive recent change as well that we will hopefully continue to evolve in the new year and beyond. Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm kind of glad you got first because I wasn't sure if I was going to try to steal Dune 2 from you, and now I don't even get the opportunity.
Wait, what is the... Oh, steal isn't just like...
As in,
if I hadn't already put it. Okay.
As in, I knew you wanted it really bad.
I don't know if we had some game mechanic where you can just steal. Like,
no, that's not a factor, not that I'm aware of. We didn't explain it in the rules. But I knew that you were going to want that, but maybe it would have set us off on a bad foot.
That's okay.
At an hour of podcasting to go. So you've kind of done me a favor, actually, and I'm going to take...
I know what you're going to take.
I get to take 2 movies now, which is pretty rad. And I'm going to take Challengers, and I'm going to take Anora.
Ooh, that's interesting because I'm trying to. Is that? Oh, that is in my top 10 of the year. I on Letterboxd log every single movie that I've seen this year. Yesterday, I watched 50.
My movie year count is more like 25, which is sad, which is lame. But I think of those 25, I'm kind of amazed that I really like a lot of them. Challengers, according to the movie podcast I listen to, for some reason, I don't understand why it's considered like light fare for the Oscars and is like not competing seriously for any Oscars. But in terms of movies, I had a lot of fun at the movie theater this year. That's pretty high on the list. It's one of the few movies I went out of my way to see twice. And even on the second viewing, I was like, this is fucking rad. And then Anora, on the contrary, everyone is like,
That's the one.
This is the front runner for Best Picture. And I also just think it was really good and really fun. It's probably like, I haven't seen After Hours. Probably some of that in there.
It's sort of there's similar elements to After Hours. I wouldn't say it's quite the same, but
and I felt like it had in the second half it had like some safety stress energy, and I said that in part.
Sure.
Was like, oh really? The first time I said that, you were like, I kind of hate you.
No. I safety energy. I wouldn't say it's quite the same level of stress. Like it's still more of a light touch than like Uncut Gems or Good Time, I think.
Needless to say, I think maybe Good Time and Uncut Gems like sort of achieved that probably better, and that was sort of one of the qualities I liked best about Anora, and it was done probably better in these other movies that weren't recognized by the Academy. Not that it fucking matters, but just to talk about. But Mikey Madison, like, you're great. The Russian supporting guy, you're great. It's all kind of great. Sean Baker,
he is great.
He's here to stay. I haven't seen any of his other movies, which is lame of me. But now
you should check out Florida Project.
No, I'm very excited to work backwards. Yeah, Red Rocket's supposed to be great. Florida Project, Tangerine was an answer on Jeopardy last night. We're rocking and rolling. Parth, Colin Jost is hosting Pop Culture Jeopardy right now, and basically 70% of the questions are about movies. And it like I sit on the couch, and my parents are like, "You're a god," and and they think that. Here's my thing. Me, you, and my mom try out next year.
Wow. Wait, I would do that.
Because my mom knows different stuff than us. Because my mom was like, oh, you, Parth and Jackson. And I was like, me, Parth and Jackson all know the same 20 things. But what we need is you to fill in our gaps.
What I would somewhat differ in your point of view, though, which is to say you and Sophia Alexis have bonded over knowing that there are certain things you will know that you'll be like, I know Parth doesn't know what that is.
Do you have a good example?
Like I feel like there might be like a band from like the 70s or something, like stuff like that, where it's just like American culture that like because my parents didn't grow up with it, I didn't grow up with it. And so then you'll be like, yeah, and of course this person or like that band or that thing.
And what you and Sophia do that to me with is YouTubers.
Yeah, but that's
and then Cody Ko did this, and I'm
we can't stop fucking talking about Cody Ko.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, slept with a 17-year-old, pretty chill though.
But I just picked randomly. What did Logan Paul do next? Now we're talking about great citizens of America.
Took video and suicide forest.
There's no winning.
But I think that what's great is that there's elements of culture that you are not clued into that I think I am, and elements of culture I am not clued into that you are. And then there's whole other like half of culture that your mom is more into. So we really, I think, would cover more bases than if it was you, me, and Jackson, or you, me, and honestly any one of our friends in our age group.
I agree. Yeah, all the contestants, they have like a punny name and then a matching outfits. And my sister, we were brainstorming, and she said, "Snap, Crackle, Pop Culture Jeopardy." And I was like, that's pretty good. So just something to think about in the new year, 2025. Speaking of, what are your next two picks?
Well, Trent, you took Challengers, which is my number 2 of the year, but now it can't be. Great choices.
I showed my mom my top 10 list, and she viewed it very enthusiastically, and then she was like, Challengers? Really? Huh.
Well, Challengers is a movie that I definitely have liked more as time has gone on. I feel like I liked it, but it was sort of like, I don't get it. And as time has gone on, I've only thought about it more. The score is pretty awesome.
It's one of the only
Um,
scores I've gone out of my way to listen to. Like some
all
of it's on my Spotify Wrapped.
Sure. All of the acting is really good. And I recently saw a movie which will not be making my top 10. That I feel like it wants to be sexy, but challenges with sexy, you know? Off the record, it's Baby Girl.
But I thought that was gonna be good, and it was so.
It's
Yeah.
fine.
So what's your next pick?
So my next two picks, Trent, are Dee Dee and The Substance.
Okay.
Yeah.
There goes something on my list.
So did you ever watch Dee Dee this year?
No, it's when I haven't seen an excellent movie on your list, it's like a relief off of me, but also it's like I probably should have seen that because if I'd seen it, it probably would have been on my list.
It's a kid in the early 2000s growing up. He's a skater kid. He's sort of interested in shooting skating videos and sort of interested in movies, and he's the child of an Asian immigrant. So I was not a skater kid, but I was into movies, and I am a child of Asian immigrants, and it was a really, really well told story. Also, it's fun to see movies that deal with like early internet culture, because I feel like movies and TV for so long have been so invested in the 80s. That it's now fun to see, like, throwback to 2003 or whenever, because that's stuff that I remember. Or 2006, I think, is maybe when maybe the movie's 2008. I don't remember. But then my next choice is The Substance, another movie for which we had a guest, cinematographer Benjamin Kratchoon, or Benjamin Kraken. I don't remember which. Really awesome. Another good
one
score.
of the most like talked about movies of the year, and it's like a lower budget thing, and so a lot of people are impressed at its performance.
Yes, and Demi Moore, really awesome in the movie. I think for me the standout. Margaret Qualley, also good.
Wait,
and
was it like a star-making performance? That's what all the people are saying.
for Margaret Qualley?
People say she's a star now, Parth.
Please, I'm a star. But yeah, just a fun, really well-made movie with style and something to say
And a lot of like cool choices, bold choices.
creatively.
Yeah, a badass ending. Yeah, I really like that. That was my number 5 in my letterbox list. That it's in no particular order. But now it's my turn.
It is. What are your next two, Trent?
I'll be taking Ramel Ross's Nickel Boys.
Fuck you, bro.
Which hopefully we will be talking about soon on the show.
That'll be our I guess we can release that now, which is we interviewed editor Nicholas Monsieur.
Yeah, that will be our next 2 episodes after this.
That is correct.
And I thought that interview was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
right?
speak on Nickel Boys.
But I went the night before the interview to see the movie, which for the interview's sake is kind of the best way to do it. And Parth, I'm looking at how you only gave it 4 stars. I give it 4.5.
Hey, that shit could go up.
But the cinematography is pretty amazing. The story's pretty amazing. I got my mom the book for Christmas. Unfortunately, Ramel Ross came to Rutgers University for Hale County this evening last year, and I totally would have went because I was like, I know that's Oscar nominated. That's for documentary. That's really cool. But I had something going on that I didn't go, and now I kick myself for it because now he made my like 3rd favorite movie of the year, which is really great. And like the end montage, as we talked about, in part 2 of our episode with the editor, was like pretty amazing. Cried at that. It's like I'm sure movies have done this style look before.
I don't know any movie that has, though. Not quite like this.
Yeah, not the whole time. And then, without spoiling anything, in the circumstances where it goes outside of that style, it does it in also a very interesting and cool way.
Yes.
That like also like keeps main story points under wraps, and it's dope. It's dope. So I don't know if that's playing everywhere yet, but I was like so glad I went to the city to see that.
In a theater. I think especially
and
seeing that in
I
a
saw
theater.
it in I don't know if I don't know if I saw it in IMAX, but I saw it on
You
a
did
big.
not see it in IMAX.
Okay, well I saw it on a big ass screen, and after the movie, everyone was silent, and I think they may have clapped.
Yeah.
But people also clapped. There were I saw a Complete Unknown on Christmas, and during all the live performances, there was one guy who was like clapping, like he was like in the crowd
Right.
at the show, and I'm like, that's not okay.
The movie that I saw last night that was my 50th 2024 movie of the year was A Complete Unknown, and it was full of, no offense, older people who I guess grew up with Bob Dylan, and people were like grinning ear to ear, like clapping when performances were done, like they were at the concert, and like being like, oh, this is the times are a-changin'. Like sort of speaking to their wife or whatever.
Very loudly because they're
Yes.
both old.
But it was sort of endearing because they weren't being like obnoxious and they weren't like doing it too much. So it was just enough of like bad theater etiquette to be charming and endearing, as opposed to teens that are just like constantly talking and on their phones.
It's funny you mentioned that because I had an old person sort of give me a scare during my screening because I guess two old people were trying to walk to the bathroom, and then the really old guy started walking confusedly towards the fire exit, and then his caretaker was like, "Hey!" And then I would just sort of jump to attention because I was, in a movie theater, unfortunately, about 10% of my brain power is like waiting for something bad to happen. The other 90% is enjoying the film. But nothing bad happened, I guess, besides if you're Parth, the content of the film.
Hey, I gave that movie not a bad score.
So Nickel Boys I cried at multiple times, but my next pick is maybe I'm just going through something because I used to not cry at all, and now my mom cries at every movie, and now I'm starting to become that way a little bit. And then
Wow.
Kyle Mooney's 90-minute
Oh my
A24
God.
comedy Y2K, I cried 3 times.
I can't follow you here.
Why? Did you see it?
No, I watched Y2K. I enjoyed Y2K, but you cried 3 separate times?
It's weird, man.
At fucking what? What happened in the movie?
Parth, I don't know, dude.
You saw the Mooney cut?
Oh, well, I'm pretty sure we both saw the Mooney cut.
Yeah.
But when the friend died, I definitely cried. When
Wow.
he was like dancing, I think I cried. I don't know what's going on, but also that movie was just like
yeah,
really,
Trent, I don't know what's going on.
But that movie was really funny. Am I crazy? Even though you didn't.
No, it was funny, and especially one casting choice that I won't reveal if you haven't seen the movie.
Oh, did we see this movie together?
No, we didn't. I saw this movie on my own.
I
but
forget
there's-
who. Are we talking about the person from the band?
Yes.
Yeah, I forget who I saw this movie. Oh, it was Sarah Brotman after we had SNL at my house.
Right, yeah.
The Rutgers cronies, Parth included, from this podcast, co-host of Craft Services, came over to watch Paul Mescal's SNL, and then the next day, Sarah and I went to see Y2K, and she was like, "Who was that guy?" And I was
Wow.
like, "You not knowing,
You missed out
probably
on like the best joke in the entire movie.
the best joke that is reoccurring for like a
Yes.
whole act of the movie, if not more." But that was just a fun night out. Or
Well,
it was
I'm
actually
glad-
it was a matinee. I probably should have saved it, knowing that based on your tone and surprise that you wouldn't have taken it.
Well, I should have known that you would have, because afterwards you texted me, "Yo, Y2K is kind of fucking awesome." So I should have known.
I don't take that.
I don't
back.
begrudge your choice. I mean, hey, it's your list.
Yeah.
Fun movie. Not. I feel like I'm coming off as like hating this movie or something. I don't. I thought it was quite fun. I had a good time with it.
Yeah, but I probably should have taken some more serious fare and saved that for later, but here we are.
Hey, we do what we
Hindsight
can.
is Y2K, you know.
Okay. So I guess it's my turn now.
Oh, 2K 2020. Someone could have done something.
2K.
Yeah, you know?
2K4.
Yeah. Okay. What's your next 2 picks?
So my next pick is I'm choosing all these movies that we've had people on for. I promise this is not like I'm not being bought
one
and paid
long
for.
advertisement.
My next movie is I saw the TV Glow, which we spoke to cinematographer Eric Yu for, and just a movie that I saw in theaters and was really surprised by how engaging I found it and how I don't know, like moving emotionally. I personally found it. Yeah, we talked to the cinematographer. So full disclosure, but the cinematography is really, really good. The soundtrack is really, really good. And I just really, really
Parth,
like that
dare I
movie.
say, us picking our movies of the year as having done episodes on it already, it isn't us licking our own butthole. It's actually just a reflection on
Of our taste.
of your ability to get good guests. So way to
Hey.
go.
Thanks, bro. But my next movie is a movie that's I'm sort of surprised that I'm deciding between two movies that I really like both. But I think one might show up on your list. And so I'm kind of
so
like,
now
I
we
should
have to
choose
start
that
playing
one.
the game of trying to shoot each other in the ankle.
The one that I'm gonna pick, I think, has like no chance of being on your list.
Well, that's
the
very
one-
nice of you.
So I'm not gonna pick that one.
Oh, I see.
I'm gonna go A Real Pain. Is that
Yep,
gonna show up?
That would have been my next logical pick.
Nice. So, yeah, A Real Pain, a movie that we both saw together along with friend of the show, Jackson Clark. Another moving movie, a very funny Holocaust
A series
movie.
of moving pictures, you could say, at 23.98 frames a second. Yeah.
Okay, well, if it's
Like-
filmed,
like
it's
most of the
24, but
Oh.
yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. This is the second movie of his that I've seen. I also saw the one starring Finn Wolfhard, which I really enjoyed.
I really wanted to see that. And
I
never
really
got around
enjoyed
to
that.
it.
I think he can show people not connecting or people not understanding other people in a way, in a very real and honest way. I don't quite know how to put it better than that, but I think that he is uniquely able to do that and has a really good handle on tone. Where there are scenes that are really, really funny, followed by scenes that are really upsetting, and then scenes that are you're not quite sure how you're supposed to feel. But it all feels very assured, and I really enjoyed it.
I listened to an interview with Jesse Eisenberg because I like him a lot as a person and as an actor. And I guess his first movie was received sort of okay, and this movie's being received much better, and he already has things in place for his next movie, and it seems like he's probably gonna keep doing this. He's here to stay. I hope.
I hope so.
It seems people are talking very seriously about Kieran Culkin winning for Best Supporting Actor.
I wouldn't be upset at all by that.
It seems to be like the popular response right now. But we've been surprised before. But hopefully, not to jinx anything, a movie that Parth and I saw very urgently because Parth was like, Trent, we have to go to the city tonight because we're gonna do the interview soon, and the interview still is in the works. But
It'll hopefully happen.
But we're really hoping to talk with someone from A Real Pain because it was great. If you're hearing this, it was great.
We'd love to talk with you.
We'd love to talk with you. Please check your email. But Parth and I saw this together, and
this is a classic Parth watching Trent experience.
Yeah, not even you watching the movie.
No,
watching me
Parth
watch the
watching
movie
Trent, yeah.
because I was stoned, and then Kieran Culkin's character obviously becomes an enhanced experience, and as you know, he faces the problems of life, and
Every single line for the first half hour. Every single line.
Parth's like, why does Trent laugh so hard after smoking pot, and then why does it taper off after the first act?
Well,
That's how it works.
Okay, but like every single line, you busted out laugh. It was like constant, and I wasn't even like annoyed by it. I was just like shocked because I've seen movies with you while you're high, like, but this was more than that. This was like 100% more than that.
Maybe I'm just.
But I was happy you were happy.
I'm in a heightened state where like the highs are high and then like there's a lot of crying.
lows are
too.
low.
The lows are low.
Trent, you're next too.
And now that you bring it up, the game is really what do I think is going to be on Parth's list.
Yeah, I think that's the more interesting way to play this.
And all of my picks from now on will be.
Well, they should still be movies that you would
No.
on the
But
list,
this next turn is directly inspired by I think
by my decision to not choose what I might have chosen.
It's I'm gonna leave off the stuff I know you don't like, and I'll hit it at the end.
Wow.
So what I'm gonna go with Alex Garland's Civil War, and I'm gonna go with Fede Alvarez's Alien Romulus.
Wow. It's interesting that these are the two movies you chose because neither of these I think
Are on your list.
would have. Well, they're on my list as options, but they're not hard hitters for me. But Civil War.
Yeah, well, Civil War obviously we covered with actor and friend Jefferson White. Parth, you know him?
Yeah, I've collaborated with him on 2 feature films this year. Was a producer on one, was a production coordinator on the other, and assistant camera on with that one. He's probably the nicest guy in this industry that I've met. Easily the nicest actor and helpful and just a great human being that volunteered without me asking to come on our show and give it some much needed legitimacy.
But a through line I'm realizing is the main actor in both of these movies is Kaylee Spaney.
Wow, yeah. Who's great in both and very different in both.
Who I really like as an actor now.
Who I think also showed up in my top 5 last year with Priscilla.
I thought that movie was boring.
Bad take.
But I loved this. I loved Kirsten Dunst in this. I like that. And then Alien Romulus really, I saw in preparation for the show. Hopefully we have a guest on, but you've heard it before. I just thought there was some rad fucking sequences. I mean, it's been out long enough, but there's like, she's floating and it's like, like the where she has to like go through where all the aliens are without shooting or whatever.
The anti-gravity.
There's like acid floating around. Like that was pretty fucking dope.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen this movie since theaters, but we're going to cover it on Eye of the Duck, Adam Vollerich's show.
Yeah. Also, hopefully on our show that the two of us run.
Actually, yes, there's 2 people that might, there's offers in the air for that movie.
But as you being affiliated with a very alien-centric podcast like Eye of the Duck, this probably occupies a lot more of your brain space. And as someone who like likes Alien and thinks it's fucking dope and aliens, but like doesn't like think about it that often, I really enjoyed this more than I thought I would.
Yeah. Well, they're both really, really well-made movies. With a lot of style.
And Alex Garland, like, I think Ex Machina is sort of like, we're not.
Bad take.
No, not like, but just sort of I really like this.
Have you seen Annihilation?
No, but that's one of Jackson Clark, friend of the show.
Annihilation is really cool. I really like Annihilation. Not a big Men guy, but I am an Annihilation guy.
No, I saw Men. That was bad. And then I got a threatening phone call after, so that's what I remember most.
Oh, God.
Got into an accident in a production vehicle while peeing. And then I was watching Men, and then the director of the project was
Wasn't
like,
this
hey,
after Top Gun Maverick? I think that was after Top Gun Maverick, because I think we saw Top Gun Maverick together.
No. Well, I know that I walked out of Men to take this phone call.
Oh, wow.
Because I remember during the pleasantries of the phone call where I thought everything was okay, explaining the plot to him. But he was the director. I crashed a production vehicle. He didn't have the insurance. And then he called me and started off all nice. Well. And then he was like, and wait, hey kid, what if I gave you $1,000 and you put this on your insurance? And then I was like, dude, I'm like fucking 20. Like, you're gonna have to talk to my parents about this. I don't even know what insurance is. I'm on their insurance. And he was like, fuck you, kid. Or he wasn't like that, but he was like, I don't want to deal with your fucking parents. Bye. But needless to say, Alex Garland's Men was not memorable, besides for this, but that didn't have anything to do with the movie. What are your next 2 picks going to be?
My next 2 picks, I'm going to choose the one that I didn't choose. M. Night Shyamalan's Trap.
Wow.
A movie Trent's mother hates.
A movie that it's like really polarizing. Like I saw a pretty loathing 1-star review for it today.
Well, here's the thing. There's lots of reasons to dislike that movie, but it was a really fun time in the theater, and I'm an M. Night Shyamalan fan, not even so much because I think all his movies are great. They certainly are not. There are some really great ones, and there's some stinkers, but they're always interesting in the ways in which they are good and bad, and this one, I think, has a really good leading performance by Josh Hartnett, and I like movies that are like an enclosed space, which this one mostly is. And I think a rewatchable movie, a movie that I enjoyed, that in some ways maybe doesn't 100% make sense, but is entertaining throughout. Even though Trent's mom thinks that I'm a dumb fuck for
Well, she
enjoying
never
it.
actually said that. My mom just I guess she's not a Lady Raven fan. Like
No,
our friend
what-
Jackson, who came to your Halloween party as a fan of Lady Raven in a Lady
Yes.
Raven t-shirt, which I got a real kick out of. My mom saw it, and her takeaway was this is a platform for M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. Which I don't know. I watched the movie in the background while I was like folding laundry or editing or something, which is offensive, and I will watch the movie soon in full with my full attention. But I have to say, what I saw looked like pretty entertaining.
My next pick is maybe a less polarizing movie, Conclave. Have you seen Conclave?
No, but as a frequent Peacock user, I'll get around to it eventually.
So Trent, you better get claved up because this is a really fun movie. It's I think you didn't see
Join
it
the
initially.
clave?
Yes, you didn't watch it initially because I think you thought it was something like Spotlight.
I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I told Parth that is an example that makes me seem less like an asshole. I said it seems sort of like The Post, where it's like just seems like sort of like boring.
Hey! I just had a recent conversation with friend of the show Jefferson White about how The Post is really good.
Whoa. That's crazy. Someone who saw The Post and remembers little to nothing about it.
We should rewatch it. It's really good.
Did think that it was going to be like a boring sort of Pope movie, but you and everyone else seem to be telling me that
It is
it's
a not boring Pope movie,
and it's a serious contender.
Yes, and really good performances, a really good ending. I don't really want to give away anything about it if you're gonna watch it, but do go watch it.
So do
Trent,
we both?
what are
do
your
we-
next 2?
Do we both have 6 movies?
So right now you have 6 and I have 7.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Things are getting hairy now. This is why it's more interesting to do it the 10 rather than the 5, because we'd be over already, and we wouldn't even have to get into movies that we feel less strongly about. I don't know if I'm ready to enter into my phase of picking movies that I know Part's not going to pick anyway, because then I'll
Wait,
shred it.
there's one that I'm sort of shocked hasn't come onto your list yet.
Yeah, that's intentional.
I think we're thinking of the same.
I think
Maybe.
so too. Well, I mean, when I text you after a movie and I'm like, that was great, and then you were like, that was so, I have a good feeling. Okay, I'm gonna take the 2 remaining ones from my list, and then my last 2 picks will be weird.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take A Complete Unknown, and I'll take Saturday Night.
Okay. Cool.
Is Saturday Night what was being implied? That you were
I
surprised
I was
that
just
haven't
sort of
taken it yet?
surprised. Well, because you left that movie and
Foolishly
rated it
said-
4.5 stars, and then said it might go up to 5. And
Yeah, there was some flawed thinking there.
but we did interview cinematographer Eric Steelberg about his work on the movie, which is I
Yeah.
think by far the best element of the movie, the look and feeling. It's really great, I think.
Agreed. I just enjoyed Saturday Night a lot, if you couldn't tell, and then like most people, maybe a little bit after the fact, it softened, but I thought it was a joyous romp. That's the phrase my parents use when something is maybe fun, but not particularly substantiative. And then, speaking of other movies that I know that Parth isn't going to take, or I already took A Complete Unknown, which I saw on Christmas and cried at twice. My dad cried the whole time. I was really sick during it, so who knows how that affected it. But
well, I also want to clear up that I do not dislike A Complete Unknown. I had a good time with The Complete Unknown.
Yeah, I was. You rated 3.5 stars, and you were just like, I don't got nothing to say.
Well, it's sort of just like I don't have any. My parents didn't grow up listening to Bob Dylan, so that wasn't like going on in the background in my house. And I, know the like famous Bob Dylan songs, but he's just sort of not. It's not like that's one of my people or one of my parents' people. So I thought it was really well put together, some really good performances, obviously good music, but it's just not personally gonna do anything for me. But it is very well made. And I like James Mangold as a director.
Yeah, you were just talking about Indiana Jones and the
Dial of Destiny. It's my favorite one.
Yeah, I think both Saturday Night and A Complete Unknown, like probably a lot of successful movies these days, are tapping in on a successful and liked property to get people to go to the movies. And in this case, I really like both of these things. I mean, especially going through a Saturday Night Live is good moment. So I think, and me wanting to go see Saturday Night Live in person. So I'm just in an influx of that. And then watching A Complete Unknown, I walked away from that being like, now I'm looking forward to listening to Bob Dylan's entire discography. And Timothy Chalamet. Everyone's like, he might win Best Actor. Yeah, I don't know, Parth, you're making a face. But
I mean, I don't know. No, I was just like looking at my next two perspective choices that I have to choose. But no, I think Timothy Chalamet, people were really hating on his casting choice when it was announced and when they saw set photos. And this, among all the other examples, has proven to me that people just should shut the fuck up and wait for the actual movie to be released so you understand what the director's take on it is and how things will actually look when they're actually lit and shot the way they are meant to be lit and shot. Because I'm a Chalamet fan. I think he's probably my favorite of the younger generation of movie stars that are out now.
I was just going to say, like, he's sort of he's having a moment right now. And he's sort of seems like he has his feet on the ground as a person.
A lot of popcorn? What do you have during a movie?
Milk does. I rip Milk does. I'm talking 12 at a time. Chew, 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 suck the chocolate out. Soak in the caramel.
And I think he's a legitimate movie star. All his movies that have come out recently have made a lot of... you can make fun of it, but Wonka, the Dune movies, this...
now he's about to be in a Safdie movie.
And then, he's got really, really interesting, cool taste. He's always working with interesting directors.
He's like got his hand... He's doing everything.
Yeah.
Which is like... No, it can't be a bad thing. He sang all the songs himself. He learned how to play guitar.
Yeah. And Monica Barbero as Joan Baez and Elle Fanning as Sylvie. I also really liked the two of them a lot.
I completely agree.
So you could say it was a complete known.
Yeah, but just like and I walked out of it and I was like, just based on all of the live music stuff done really well, the sort of major set piece of the end as a musical thing, I walked away from it and I was like, I want to cover this on the show because I want to learn more about.
Yeah, I would really love to talk to like a production designer or a cinematographer and get a sense of what it was like to make that. That's by far, that's really interesting stuff, I think.
Yeah, in terms of you talking about like, major portions of a movie taking place at one spot or depicting a single event. As seen in the film Bohemian Rhapsody, which started this whole mess of music biopics. But you can like still feel the echoes of that today. But we're getting better. We're moving in the right direction. Even if we had to Amy Winehouse and Bob Marley and all that get here. Parth, You have 2 more picks, and then I have 2 more, and then you get 1 more.
I get the last word. I am really belaboring over this. I think one of the movies I'm going to choose is a movie I don't think you have seen yet. It's Queer by Luca. He released. Have you seen Queer?
No. But the day that we saw Interstellar together in IMAX, I was going to see Queer.
Yes, you were on on the way.
And then I realized I looked at the wrong movie time. But, Challengers being my first pick, I'm clearly trying to work backwards with this whole Luca Guadagnino thing, because he kind of seems like a G.
Yes.
And
I mean,
all my friends are rating it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd.
Yes, it's a really, I think, interesting movie. Not at all what I expected, and the same writer as Challengers, same director as Challengers, but just a completely different experience in basically every way. I think Luca Guadagnino is like a really interesting guy that's doing a lot of interesting things with like film form, and he's releasing pretty accessible movies that are like doing some cool stuff with editing and cinematography. I don't want to give stuff away, is why I'm sort of being general about it, but it's really cool, some really cool stuff. I think Daniel Craig is great at it. Sophia made the great point that he is excellent at acting drunk, which not all actors are. And I would recommend this to any of my friends because I think that it's really cool. For my next movie, though, it's a little more difficult. I think I might go with one you haven't seen. I think I'm going to go Furiosa. A movie that is strangely divisive. I don't think it. I think it's hurt by the fact that it's coming off the heels of Fury Road, which is sort of spectacular in every possible way.
How much less spectacular is Furiosa that everyone's so pissed off?
You haven't seen either?
Which I know Mad Max Fury Road.
I mean,
I have it
Mad
on
Max,
my shelf, but
Mad Max Fury Road is kind of a perfect movie and sort of astounding in basically every way. I think Furiosa has more rough edges, but is also doing something completely different. Or it's just structured completely differently. It's going for a different tone and a different vibe, I think. But I think I had to research the Mad Max movies this year for Eye of the Duck, and I think George Miller, in learning about him, is another really interesting guy that's just sort of always doing his own thing and doing something different than what the people want from him, which I really respect, especially in an age where directors are forced to regurgitate what people already like. George Miller in his late 70s is giving a big middle finger to the whole industry and saying, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing, which is pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. Trent, what are your last two of the year?
So this is my last two.
You said that these were going to be, quote, weird choices.
It's weird. It's weird.
Oh.
We're off the list. Now we're just looking at everything I've watched this year. And, there's some good choices, like Hot Frosty, Beetlejuice.
Dude, if your last isn't Hot Frosty, like, what did we even watch it together for?
I did go all the way to Parth to watch Hot Frosty. Yeah, Joker Folie à Deux. They're all great choices. The Fall Guy. Forgot to mention the Fall Guy.
I enjoy the Fall Guy quite a bit. You just went to see that movie with someone that was so uninterested in seeing the movie that it rubbed off on you. I don't think if you were to rewatch the Fall Guy, I'm not saying you would love the Fall Guy, but I do not think you would be like, bro, fuck the Fall Guy.
That's true. I went with my friend Anthony, and he looked over at me about 20 minutes in and said, "Whenever you're ready to leave, I'm ready to leave." So that's a pretty crushing wait, like when you're shopping with someone and they're like, "I'm ready to leave." It's like you better go to the counter,
pack up your things and go. Yeah.
Yeah. I might have to go all the way back to next year and break the rules for Wonka, Thanksgiving. But I'm not gonna do
Hey,
that.
I liked Wonka too, but
I saw Wonka in the theaters. Haunted Mansion. I could go on all day.
I could do this all day.
Yeah. But I think it's time I follow my heart and I make my last two picks. My first pick, I'll give these one at a time. I went to see Beetlejuice. That's not the pick. And it was one of the worst experiences of the year. And it was not
Because
the
of the
movie's fault.
movie?
No.
Or okay.
It's like half the movie's fault.
It's Beetlejuice, but not Beetlejuice.
Well, that's the thing, because I do enjoy one Beetlejuice. But it was just a bad screening, as Parth talked about. It was sold out. It was like opening-ish weekend. And teens were texting, having full conversations, recording voice memos, talking, making out, everything. Families, babies crying, all of it. Running around. So that wasn't so good. And then I was like leaving the theater so dejected, and then I saw Terrifier 3 was playing, and I was like, this is what I need. And then I went in, didn't know paying for a ticket, and I sat in the back and had a very respectful screening with a bunch of other adults in the dark, in the quiet, and we watched Terrifier 3, and it was awesome. And I haven't seen Terrifier 1, but I saw Terrifier 2. Not that the plot over the course of these movies really matters, but I'm just happy to have it on my list since this is like a very unique type of movie that I enjoy watching. And I think it's fucking funny and gross and cool. And like I've never seen anything this gory. It's the goriest thing I've ever seen. It's like
I remember you telling me that this makes Saw look pansy or something like that. Like
it kind of does, or not. Like Saw has continued to develop and get grosser and grosser, but it kind of went up Saw. That's all I'll say. Not to say anything about our conversation about Saw 10 with cinematographer Nick Matthews, of course
not.
Because I enjoyed that conversation. I enjoyed Saw 10. But I think Terrifier 3 is doing gore. It's in its own league. And, speaking of being inspired by a small story of Damien Leone, because it's like small budget, and now he has fucking 3 Terrifier movies, and they've like grown exponentially in budget each time, which is pretty dope. So that was like for the fans, and now this next one might hurt a little.
Okay. I have no idea.
That one was for the bros. So just to think out loud, and I've made my decision already.
Okay.
My 10th pick was going to go between Wicked, Gladiator 2, and Megalopolis.
Okay.
And it's going to Wicked.
Okay.
Because I enjoyed distinct elements of all 3 of these movies, and I think I calculated that I enjoyed the most elements of Wicked of those 3. As I did have enjoyable screenings of Megalopolis and Gladiator 2, and enjoyed performances and set pieces. But Gladiator 2, we covered it on the show. I thought it was a little bit too much of a retread of Gladiator 1, even though that was clearly what they wanted to do. And then Megalopolis I enjoyed and had some laughs, and I was
another movie we talked about on the show.
Yeah, with Joseph, with your friend, and Alfred, what's his name? Francis Ford Coppola's personal assistant for a time, Joseph Castleman.
Yes.
Parth's internet friend, so you could go check that out. I enjoyed the weirdness of that movie. It was me and an old guy, and then the old guy left, and then it was just me, and then that's ideal movie viewing experience for a guy with a weed pen. But Ariana Grande, you were pretty awesome in Wicked. Cynthia Erivo, you were pretty awesome in Wicked. I enjoyed that. Sue me. But
Wow.
It's probably smart. I'm like not pissed that I have Wicked on my list, because like a lot of people like that shit, and in some form, we'll be asking the general public to determine a winner based on these picks, and I think the general public might pat me on the back because they've got numbers over there in the general public.
Wow. Well, now I have the tough job of choosing my final pick. The problem is you've taken many of my picks that I would have had.
Yeah, off of my
I don't-
list, you've taken Substance, Real Pain, and TV Glow.
Off my list, you've taken Challengers, Honora, Nickel Boys.
Oh, and Dune 2, obviously. Dune 2. You took
Yeah.
that.
No. And then the others are all movies that I liked to varying degrees, but like I'm not like pissed off that they're not on my list, but the others I am.
That's where some of the taste sort of makes this go over easier.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go with one that I did really like. The Bike Riders. I don't know if you saw the Bike Riders or not.
I did. Wow.
Oh yeah, because another movie we covered. I totally forgot.
Oh, Parth, this movie's from last year, bro.
Is it?
It's from 2023.
Mm,
That's what it says in the letterbox, mate.
no, that's because it was shown at like festivals in 2023. It was actually released June 21st, 2024 this year.
Oh, then that might be why I didn't even
Consider
put
it.
on my list, but that's fine.
Hold on.
Parth's like, well, if you change the rules, I can actually do whatever I want.
Yeah, so I mean, we talked with production designer Chad Keith about this movie, so go check that out. But yeah, this is a movie I really enjoyed. I really want to check out Jeff Nichols' other movies. And I really like Jodie Comer in this. Just a fun movie with the boys, you know?
I like Tom Hardy's voice the whole time.
Yes, I like whenever Tom Hardy does a voice, and I like Austin Butler when he does a voice. I have 2 Austin Butler does a voice movies on my list this year.
Remember, I mean, since we're about to transition into the movies of next year, remember us on the set of Happy Gilmore 2 with the guy that looked a lot like Austin Butler?
Yes, fake
And-
Austin Butler, and
and
he was
he-
kind of a dick, right?
Yeah, and he sort of acted a fool, and we knew that he looks like Austin Butler. Because
Yeah.
he had a shirt that just said, like, Austin.
Yeah.
Sort of begging people to be like, dude, you look like Austin Butler. It's like, yeah.
Well, Trent, that's our 2 lists of 10. Do you want me to recap them?
Oh, sure.
So, from worst to best, but I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily how we would classify these, but you know, whatever. Yours is Wicked, Terrifier 3, A Complete Unknown, Saturday Night, Alien Romulus, Civil War, Y2K, Nickel Boys, Honora, and Challengers. A very respectable list, a very varied list.
Let's hear Parth's respectable and varied list.
Mine is The Bike Riders, Furiosa, Queer, Conclave, Trap, A Real Pain, I Saw the TV Glow, The Substance, DD, and Dune Part 2. I'm really happy with my first 3 choices. Those are movies that were in my actual top 4 or 5 that I'm glad I got.
Well, I'm pretty pleased as punch with how that went, but
But it's not just about the past.
It's
you
about
know?
the future.
Yeah.
But I'd say we'll probably have much less to say about these movies.
Sure,
so
but we're still
don't wor-
doing a
draft.
draft, right?
So I'm gonna flip a coin again. Heads or tails?
Well, you know, I'll just give it to you because I went first.
I
this
guess
time. Yeah.
that only seems fair. So I'll follow my heart, and I'll take for my first pick the untitled Paul Thomas Anderson movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Benicio del Toro, and Sean Penn. It doesn't have a title yet, according to IMDb.
That's coming out next year.
According to IMDb, Parth.
Wow.
Are you fact checking me? And
No. It is. It's the bat. Oh wait, it's got the Battle of Bacton Cross or Bactan Cross. That's what people are saying.
I'm just following my heart. PTA is my guy.
He is your guy.
Parth, you have 2 picks. This will be a shorter draft because it's only top 5.
So my number 1, we know it's got to be Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Yeah, Parth said before the recording, he implied that it would be really cruel of me to take this, which I guess I could have just done, but I wouldn't have been following my heart.
No.
I would have been out for blood. That would have been wrong.
Mission Impossible, my favorite film series of all time, like just movies.
One I've barely even dipped my toe into, only seeing Dead Reckoning Part 1.
Despite us talking about it so much and about the cruise of it all so much on this show.
I'll get around to it. He comes down from the ceiling. That's the whole thing. Yeah.
But before the next one comes out, we'll watch all of them, I think.
I think it's like I need you as my guide.
Yes.
Because it's like, what would the point really be if you're not
Yes.
gonna like be sitting there next to me, touching my
And
leg?
actually, he did this one for real. And so this one, he trained for 6 months for it. This one, they told him he couldn't do it, and then he did do it.
What's like the Amazon Smart Vision or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, it tells you the facts along the way. That's you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your next? So Parth says this will be the final reckoning, unless the final reckoning really reckons at the box office.
Yeah, but
and
even
then they
then,
might, and then
even
then
then,
they
I don't
might
think,
reckon some more.
Even then, I think that this is the last for at least a while of the Tom Cruise led Mission Impossible movies.
And Parth, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen to Tom Cruise, and what's gonna happen to Mission Impossible?
Well, Tom Cruise is doing his other shit. I mean, he's working on
Going to space with Doug Liman?
well, he's more importantly already shot a movie with Alejandro Iñárritu, which is coming out 2026.
Oh.
So watch out for that coming on my list next year. But and he's gonna be making a movie with Christopher McQuarrie called Broadsword. And then also The Gauntlet. So like he's booked and busy. He's also making a horror movie with Doug Liman plus the space movie with Doug Liman. So I would really be surprised if we had a Mission Impossible come out anytime in the near future, and by that point Tom Cruise will be like 70, and it's sort of like, do we really think he can do this at 70? I don't know.
Everything he's done so far is already like
surpassed expectation.
It's, pardon the pun, impossible.
Yeah.
So like, why would he stop now? Even though like
well,
at that point it's approaching a physical impossibility.
If Mission Impossible 8 is just like drops like everything is amazing about it, I think they would really have to think they could only make another one if they really believed it could be better than Mission Impossible 8. Because I think that's the problem. They're in talks to do Top Gun 3. But I'm sort of not quite sure when that's going to happen, because Top Gun 2 was such a big hit and so beloved that it would have to blow up Top Gun 2 for them to even consider making a Top Gun 3, in my opinion.
So when will Mission Impossible get Top Gun Maverick? When will the new gen start?
I don't think for a while. I think Tom Cruise would have to die, because I don't think he's particularly interested in handing his franchises over. Because Top Gun Maverick has the veneer of him handing the hit franchise over, but the final mission is him saying, nah, I got to do it myself.
And you think Tom Cruise doesn't have any interest in like being the old guy behind the desk?
None at all.
Yeah.
Because they've, in Mission Impossible, tried to like get him out. Like Mission Impossible 4, they tried to do that with him.
Parth, you can't get him out. You can't.
No, you literally can't. But my second most anticipated 2025 movie right now, at least for this list, is Sinners.
Oh.
The Ryan Coogler vampire movie or zombie movie. We're not quite sure.
Yeah, I really like that trailer.
Yeah, and it's going to play in IMAX. Very
Aren't
exciting.
there 2 Michael B. Jordans or something like that?
There are. They're twins.
So what's the Will Smith movie that did that poorly?
Gemini
Man.
The Ang Lee movie, or Ang Lee. Trent, what's your next 2?
I'm going to take Marty Supreme, the Safdie, Chalamet, Gwyneth Paltrow, Fran Drescher, Tyler the Creator picture. And then this next one is strategic. I'm taking James Gunn's Superman.
That wasn't going to be on my list. Does that make you want to change your mind, or are you really?
Well, no, I can't take a pick back.
I'm giving you the option. This is our show. We can change the rules as we please. I'm saying if there's anything more interesting you would rather have, because that wasn't going to be on my list.
I think I'm picking that not because, I mean, I did think that you were going to pick it on some level, but I think I'm more trying to be a man of the people. It's like I'm trying to pick something that will probably do very well, and I think, quote, the fate of the DC cinematic universe like rides on this. Hey Parth, I had to pick something mainstream. It was either going to be this or Fantastic Four.
Yeah, let's just say Fantastic Four will not be appearing on my list.
Yeah, this is just I mean, I'll go to this and I'll like eat some Bunch Crunch and have some popcorn, and then I'll be like, that was fun.
That was pretty good.
Well, I like James Gunn. I mean,
I do. I mean, it is. That is.
I
like
kind
an
of don't care
interesting-
about Superman, but
See, I do care about. I do really like Superman. And I am interested in this movie. For obviously, it's going to be interesting to see, like, is the DCU going to be a thing, or is it all over? Because that kind of is the fate. What, like, Superman's box office and critical performance will decide basically the next at least 5 years of DC movies.
and I hear sort of similar or Marvel's going to keep going no matter what, but they just really need Fantastic
But they do
Four
kind of
to do
need,
well.
yeah. They need the next few movies to do really well, and I'm not quite sure they will. But
Well, because this year, sans Deadpool and Wolverine was pretty laughable.
Yeah.
Unless do you dig Craven? Oh, we didn't even bring up Craven.
yeah, we should have.
Shit.
All right, so I guess it's my turn next. My number 3, I'm gonna go F1. Top Gun Maverick was my favorite movie of 2022. F1 is basically probably going to be the same movie, but with race cars, and starring Brad Pitt. And, you know, whatever personal problems may be happening, I like Brad Pitt as an actor, and I like Joseph Kosinski as a director, and I think the trailer looks really cool. I'm a fan of action movies, and this looks really fun. I'm excited for it. Can't wait to see it in IMAX. And then,
Oh, weren't you just saying you saw Mufasa, the Lion King in IMAX?
yeah.
I that's taking up all the IMAX screens.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Pretty cool.
Mufasa, but it does kind of piss me off that it pisses me off that they cut Interstellar's IMAX run so that we could see Mufasa in IMAX, but that's chill. My next one, I'm gonna do Edgar Wright's The Running Man. It's well, people are calling it a remake of the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, which I guess technically it is, but they're both based on a book, and I believe Edgar Wright's version follows the book more closely, so it's more of a reimagining. I'm a big Edgar Wright fan. I like all of his movies, and it stars Glenn Powell, who I'm a fan of, and I think he is a true movie star, and I enjoyed him in this year's Twisters, and look forward to The Running Man. I'm saving a fun one for my last one. So Trent, what are your last two? Unless you steal this.
I'll take Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
That was on my list. I wasn't going to choose that.
Okay, well, this seems like a good time to shout out. I just wrote down some movies that looked like bad, but like looked like fun. For example, Popeye the Slayer Man. It's like Popeye.
Yeah, it's now in the public domain, so now they're making. Right? Isn't that the thing? Or
Oh
am I
well,
crazy?
that would make all the sense in the world. That's probably that explains this whole
That's like
Abraham
Winnie-
Lincoln, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Yeah.
That's why these things happen. And Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer, cool. Shout out to Happy Gilmore 2. Parth and I are hopefully in that. We weren't in the
That's
teaser
true.
trailer. Housemaid was on the list. Movie that I very
Well, Trent, you're
close-
just saying all the movies now.
no. Well, I'm saying movies.
Is
that-
this a prelude to your number 5?
Yeah, I'm saying movies that I'm.
I
not
thought these
picking.
were your number 5.
No, and I'm just shouting movies out. Housemaid, I almost got a job with you, and then I didn't. So we'll see how that turns out. But for my number 5, I'm not gonna make the mistake of picking another Jurassic World movie. Unless
Dominion didn't do it for you. Fallen
What?
Kingdom wasn't your thing.
Isn't Gareth Edwards? Wasn't it like it was supposed to go to him, and then he like worked on it for a while, and then everyone was like, "Fuck you," or what happened there?
No. It was supposed to be David Leitch, who did Bullet Train and Atomic Blonde and he co-directed the first John Wick. He worked on it for a while, said the script wasn't there, and dropped it. And then it went to Gareth Edwards, who did Godzilla, The Creator, and Monster, and Rogue One. which is I guess his biggest movie.
I think that's what I'm remembering Gareth Edwards from like.
Oh
the
yeah,
Fuck You
on
dog.
that one he was told to fuck off, but that's by far his biggest. On paper, that's his biggest hit because that
But he
made
still
over $1
directed
billion.
that. But like most of his major ideas, they were like fuck off.
It's unclear to what extent that movie is his and to what extent that movie is other people that were hired to quote unquote fix the movie.
Because at a certain point he was fired.
I don't think he was fired, but he was replaced for certain sections.
I see. I saw the trailer for this isn't my pick. I saw the trailer for The Gorge. That looks ridiculous.
Don't even
That's
know what that is.
It's imagine a big gorge and then like it's
If
like
it was a movie.
It's two A-list actors on either side of the gorge.
Oh, is this
talking.
the Miles Teller?
Yes.
Yeah. That's directed by Scott Derrickson, who made The Black Phone, Doctor Strange,
Oh, the Black Phone.
and Sinister.
I didn't like that.
But Sinister's good.
Yeah, I liked that as a child. Okay, I'm gonna go with Alex Garland's Warfare.
Which he's co-directing, I believe, with an Iraq War veteran.
Oh God. Well, that's probably in its best interest. It was between this and the Soderbergh number.
Yeah.
Both movies I don't know too much about, but just directors that I like. I mean, I picked Civil War, and now I'm taking Warfare.
All right, so what's
gonna round out your list?
It's a movie that we will mention in an upcoming episode. It's the untitled Trey Parker movie with songs co-written by Trey Parker and Kendrick Lamar. That's edited by future guest Nicholas Monsieur.
Is this coming out in 2025?
That is, it's listed as coming out next year.
Oh yeah, because we just talked to Nickel Boy's editor Nicholas Monsieur, which you guys can hear about over the next 2 weeks. And did he tell us about this on the air, off the air?
No, this was on the air, I believe.
Yeah, so during part 2, at the very end, he'll talk about his upcoming project, which happens to be this. And he talks about it pretty vaguely, as I hope you can understand. But he gives all of that information, and that is a valuable set of information.
Cool. Well, Trent, is that 2024 for craft services?
Yeah, but if you think about it, this is really just the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just closing thoughts on our year in review for craft services. This was a year that we chose to only cover new releases.
You're right, because at the turn of 2023, obviously our last discussion ever was Magnolia.
What? No, our last discussion. No, it was.
It was.
That can't possibly be true. Ooh, so close, but no
Eyes Wide
cigar.
Shut. That's
Eyes
what
Wide
I was,
Shut.
Oh,
Yeah.
Bart, that's what I was thinking of.
Mhm. That's what they all say.
Oh, you're right. And I, yes, at the turn of this year, on December 24th, 2023, we had our fateful final discussion, maybe ever. Is we've kept it pretty professional this year. I jokingly texted Parth, and this, we had a great discussion with editor Mark Everson about Wonka, but it was just funny that Wonka was our first movie that we happened to be discussionless. And it wasn't Wonka's fault.
No,
It
it's
was
not
an-
Wonka
it
or
was-
Mark Everson, who was really an awesome guest. But
It was just 2024 is the year where everything changed.
yeah, we sort of want to, especially with Trent getting a new mic setup. I got a new mic setup this year. We are talking with guests where we're trying to do questions a little bit better. We're trying to interview a little bit better. We're trying to up our game. I think 2025, with 2025 comes a new administration, and with it a new craft services.
And Parth and Trent's thoughts on the administration, current, future, who's to say?
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, who is to say? But we are
Parth is
really
vowed
excited.
to just stick his head in the sand for the next 4 years and hope that whoever's in charge does a great job.
expects
Expects and hopes and has voted in order to put
To
this
ensure
plan,
that. Yeah.
a certain project. Speaking of 2025,
Yeah.
into action.
But
And
in
he
all
will
reality,
see to it that it takes fruition. Sorry.
in all reality, thanks so much to everybody that's listened. We really appreciate it. A lot of hard work goes into this, and we hope you enjoy this, and we hope 2025. There's some really cool movies I'm looking forward to, and I think we're gonna have some really cool interviews. Trent, any last words for 2024?
Yeah, you sort of did the thanks, so I'll echo that. Thank you to everyone, listeners, guests. Thanks to you, Parth.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah, I smiled at Parth. That's our niceties for the year.
Yeah.
Now we're
Back to
it. Our episodes come out every Sunday at 5 a.m. if you want to wake up.
which Trent has learned today, I think.
Instagram, Twitter, where Craft Services Pod. If you want to give us a follow, tell your friends. It really does help. Give us a review, a rate and review, 5 stars if possible. Yeah, 2024, there were some good times, there were some bad times, but we're all the better for it. And the same can probably be said about next year.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if there's a country to podcast in. But whether the U.S. remains or not, Craft Services is here to stay.
We've lasted more than a presidential term, no?
It's true. It's true. This started in the Trump term. It's going to end in a Trump term.
Yeah! Yeah! Okay.
All right.
Donald Trump's a bad person.
Happy New Year, guys. We can't wait to talk to you in the new year.
Happy New Year. Old Man's Eye. What's that song? Or the When Harry Met Sally, the New Year's song.